Go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're here in a section of Pompton Lakes that's at the southernmost end of our borough. And for years, this area had been a summer resort full of cabins where people from outside of Pompton Lakes, especially the cities, would come to vacation and spend some time out in the country, if you will. What you see here next to me is the remains, and there are several throughout this complex down here, of a fireplace for one of the cabins that used to stand here. Back in the late 70s, the fire department was receiving many calls down here that were phoned in from the, believe it or not, Route 23 hill coming down in Riverdale out of Butler, where people would see a plume of smoke coming out of this particular area. And what we found out was it ultimately led to a cabin being set on fire by whatever. Could have been an unattended fire, it could have been something that was left burning when people left the premises. In any event, by the time the fire department would get back here, because all these roads were paper roads and restricted in many different ways as far as access, once the fire department got here, they would dump the tank water that they had available on the apparatus, and then of course they would have to go to draft and actually draft the water out of the Quantic River right here that runs adjacent to this site. So if you were to go comb through this site, you would find a lot of what were fireplaces, what were stilts that the cabins sat on, because this was a flood area, and in the spring and fall would be subjected to high water. So the cabins did have a baseline above, what the flooding event would be. We do have some foundations out there from these cabins. Some of them had concrete masonry foundations. But in any event, some of them still remain. Most of them have been removed by the property owner at the time. Right now, this is all property owned by the town and Green Acres, and it's just provided for recreation. And our trails are running through this particular area now. So that's about it for this section. It kept us very busy for those years because they did start burning down one by one. We think a lot of it too was, activities with people coming down here partying and then leaving without properly extinguishing fires and so forth. So have a nice day and thank you.
Hi, I'm Councilman Venon. The black wooden box behind me is a bat box. Bat boxes provide safe roosting spaces for mother bats and their pups. Helping bat population also helps mosquito control. Please do not approach or touch our local bats. They are beneficial wild animals.
Welcome to the Cottage Ruins, which were built around in the 1920s. In the late 1800s to mid-1900s, the rivers were a tourist spot, and people from cities like New York would come here to spend their vacations. This area was home to summer cottages, and our trail system follows the old streets. The cottages stopped being used after a flood in 1968, and a bigger flood in 1984 discouraged any more use of them. What you can see in the woods are the hearth and foundations that are left from the old cottages.
This may look like a street, but it's really part of our neighborhood storm and sewer system. Water drains from the streets and through pipes to this area and the rivers. The litter you may see here comes from our homes and streets. When wind moves trash and recycling into the street, the rain carries it down the storm drains into our wetlands and river. Keep a lid on your trash cans and keep our trails clean.
Thing you need to know before you start your hike is how to read Trailblazers so you don't get lost and what a trailblaze is. A trailblaze is simply a marking that is used to show the trail that you're walking on. It can be a colored marking on a tree, a pile of stones, or a post stuck in the ground with markings on it. Trailblazers are relatively easy to read with 6 main symbols, 5 of which are used on our trails with 2 sets of similar markings. The first set of markings is a single blaze, which means you continue straight ahead. The second set of markings is 2 blazes placed on a diagonal, which means to turn either left or right, with the top blaze telling you which way to turn. The third and final set of markings is 3 blazes placed in a triangle, with 1 blaze on top, meaning the trail starting, while blaze from the bottom means trail has ended. Now you know how to properly identify trailblazers, you can start your journey. Have fun!
Hi, welcome to Merrill Loop, the blue and black trail. The loop is named in honor of Ed Merrill, Pompton Lakes' former environmental officer. Be careful when you walk this trail, for it can be quite muddy and some sections are frequently flooded, so proceed at your own risk.
The Oakwood Connector Loop is also known as the Black and Yellow Trail, a short loop off of the main Yellow Trail. The loop follows the alignment of the Oakwood and Elmwood Drives.
Okay, hi ladies and gentlemen, what we're standing on right here is the storm drain piping system that runs from all the streets in the southern end of our borough and discharges that water down here into the Paquonic and Ramapo rivers at their confluence. So we're literally standing on a pipe here. It carries a huge volume of water, but the pitch, as you can imagine, it is not great because down here we're pretty much at the same level across the board here. So this does discharge down here into an outfall into the river, as we said. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Councilwoman Maria Kent, and I'm here in the Rivercrest Drive Trail, more commonly known as the Yellow Trail. It is the largest trail in our system. The trail routes the historic Paper Street, as which it is named for. It is located in beautiful downtown Pompton Lakes. Be sure to keep an eye out for our turtles, fish, and environmental beauty. We all enjoy our trails, including my grandchildren and I. Thank you.
Hello, you're right now at the Oakland Avenue bridge abutment, what used to be the Oakland Avenue bridge abutment. This bridge was able to support vehicular traffic across to the other abutment across the way and service this small little community, this summer home community that's down here in the aquatic park at Pompton Lake. This road went approximately out to where Riverdale Road and Newark Pompton Turnpike will converge. Set of railroad tracks out that way, there's a mulch place out that way, and the Army National Guard maintains an armory out on the opposite corner. There was a train station there. It wasn't a station, it was a whistle stop. There was no physical building, but a whistle stop there between Riverdale and Pompton Plains Station for the Greenwood Lake Railroad, which they opened, says opened in 1873. So they supported passenger traffic here. People would walk their bags up the mile up the road down to here, or have somebody pick them up in a car and bring them back to summer homes back here. Approximately 1951, when Erie Railroad took over the Greenwood Lake Railroad, they petitioned to have that stop eliminated because it became a nuisance. So this stop up here was called Riverdale, even though it's not particularly in Riverdale. And the Riverdale train station in Riverdale was called Pompton, and Pompton was much bigger back then. In 1951, when they eliminated this Riverdale station, they just renamed the Pompton station in Riverdale as Pompton Riverdale. Once they eliminated this station, that probably contributed to the demise between that and the flooding of this area being a summer home area. And the train station is approximately where the mulch is right now, the mulch place, and Route 23 was not there at the time. Route 23 wasn't even built yet. So everybody would either come up this way through Newark Pompton Turnpike or Patterson-Hamburg Turnpike, which both still exist today. That's it.
Hi, my name is Eric DeLon, and I'm a councilman in Pompton Lakes. Welcome to the Morris Canal Greenway, a section of pathway, bicycle and pedestrian pathway that ran on the former Morris Canal between Phillipsburg, New Jersey and Jersey City, New Jersey. This section was known as the Pompton Feeder that ran between the Iron Forge up at the Pompton Dam down to Wayne, New Jersey. This section was preserved after a number of homes were bought out after severe repetitive flooding in Pompton Lakes. The towpath in the Morris Canal actually used to be on the Wayne side of the Ramapo River. However, because of our ability to acquire all these properties and build this greenway, we've been able to build the pathway on our side. Long term, we hope that this pathway will continue along the entire length of the greenway, but right now, just enjoying it right here in Pompton Lakes.
I'm Lauren Vennon, Chair of the Pompton Lakes Trails Committee, and welcome to our South End Trail System. The land you are about to explore was saved from development through the cooperative efforts of Pompton Lakes residents, borough officials, and Passaic County. This property was slated for the development of over 500 condos before residents stepped in with a grassroots effort to preserve the land for flood storage and recreation. The South End Trails and associated habitat and ecological restoration and conservation projects are part of our ongoing commitment to ecological protection and flood mitigation in Pompton Lakes. Enjoy our trails. You can find out more about us and the trail system on Pompton Lakes Borough website. Look for the Trails Committee. And as always, take nothing but photos and leave nothing but footsteps. Thank you.
Welcome to the Woodpecker Loop, which is blazed blue white. This trail is named after the pileated woodpecker, which is often spotted here. The pileated woodpecker looks a lot like the woody woodpecker.